All right. That sound was my pot pie officially being ready for preheat. But does anyone else put the stuff in before the preheat buzzer actually goes off? I never did baking. I wasn't really in the kitchen as a youngin. And even as a teenin, and even as an adult. I don't know. But anyways, which is gives me about 12 minutes to talk about all this. Let's see if we do it. So this is a bit of a recap and also just like a progress check-in for myself and for anyone who's watching on taking myself seriously as an artist, month 2. And I will prerequisite this just like I prerequisite the last one, that yes, I have been taking steps to take myself seriously. Absolutely. Got an LLC and all that jazz, but it was not for artistry. It was for a different passion project that I had and still have on home healing. Um, but home healing is so much of like an energetic offering, and it's just so personal and to my heart that I got a little burnt out on the idea of doing it for money, and then I realized that a lot of that burnt out feeling was actually because there's so much more of an artist inside of me. And I got this LLC really because I don't know where, why, how, when. I'm sure it was one Google search too far, one video too much watched, but something landed in me that gave me the fear of being sued, like the deepest fear of God of being sued for healing someone's home, and then a month later they come back like there was a fire that started or whatever. I don't know. My paranoia as a business owner kicked in. It kicked in hard, and so I got an LLC. And a year goes by. I don't really do much with the LLC. And I fall into a very toxic work situation. I'm in a very deep depression. And this annual report comes through that we're supposed to be filing every year. Essentially, just report what we've been making for the government. And I don't file it because I'm like, what's the point? I'm not even making any money from it. Yada, yada, yada. What could have taken me either an hour of effort, 20 minutes of research, and 10 minutes of actually doing it, hour tops. Or I could have paid $100 to my registered agent, which is a website. It's not a person. It's a website. Anybody can do this, guys. Anybody can do this. You can do this. Anybody can do this. And it could have been done. But I was so in my shits. I was so in the depths of my shits. And I was so broke that I was like, both of those options ain't gonna happen. And so I didn't file it. And this year I found out that my LLC is listed as forfeited. And now I'm on the journey to get it reinstated. But this time with a different passion. If you've made it this far already, you're going to see some things that people aren't really going to hear. Good for you. I had this come to Joe moment. I had this come home to Joe moment where I was like, all my art stuff is ready. My portfolios are ready. My content auditing is ready. All my intuitive work, it's all ready. Everything, the portals are ready. The bookings are ready. The portfolios are ready. Everything is ready. Why am I still not happy? Why am I still not getting bookings? What's happening? And I have been doing this book club with The Artist's Way as our book of focus, led by my friend Kiera Grondin, which I will go ahead and post her stuff below. Um, and we were about week 5 in The Artist Way. And if you've read The Artist Way, if you listened to it at all, it's a lot about not just accepting yourself as an artist in your career, but in your everyday life. And a lot of it in these chapters have been like, what did your inner child want? What was your inner child's favorite toy? What did your childhood bedroom look like? A lot of stuff of just like really reaching into the past. I mean, like, what was that? Who was that? Because they know the answers. They know way more than the shit that we think we know now. They knew everything. They knew everything that they wanted before they were told what they should want. And with that, I had been really in these daydreams of me dancing and singing in my bathroom as a very young kid to Christina Aguilera's Dirty, that album. Jennifer Lopez's Jenny from the Block, that album. And Eden's Crush. Oh, if you know anything about Eden's Crush, comment below. Let me know I'm not alone. But all of these like pop songs, and I would just be in there for hours after a shower or a bath. And I think my parents knew that I was okay. I think they just like looked underneath the door to see if there were like feet moving, and they could hear me. I was singing, and no one said anything. No one brought it up. It was just I was in there for hours. Hours, guys. I was being occupied, so I'm sure my parents didn't care. I was the middle child. As long as I was occupied, I don't think that they minded. So as an adult as well, I'm realizing like, where is my happy places? And I'm like, my happiest places are when I'm at a concert, when I'm at dancing at a club, like those are my happy places. And I don't like the club. I like to dance at the club. The audio where they're like, you go to the club and you don't have fun. I go and I'm in a music video. Like, that's what I feel like. And it's interesting too, because around the time where I was the most blocked as an artist was around my 20s. And I fucking hated hearing live music. Hated it. It was different than concerts. Concerts felt specific, but if it was like, oh, went to the restaurant and someone was playing guitar or like someone was playing live music, I hated it. And I never once, until this actually very moment, that I've ever looked back and been like, why did I hate that so much? And it was because it was something that I wanted to do. So I say all of this to say that me taking myself seriously as an artist month 2 has not just been about getting back to my inner child. It has not just been about reinstating my LLC. It's also been about realizing I'm a musician. And I've always been a musician. That is the truest thing I've said probably in my life. I don't think I've ever felt something so true. Oh, I could just sit in that truth. I could just take a bath in that fucking truth right now. And I told myself I wasn't because I never took a music class. I don't know the difference between notes and keys. I know so little when it comes to the technicality of music, but I know how much I love it. I even told my dad because he was coming to visit me, and I told him I was like, I have a concert that same night. Like I don't know I don't know what to do. He got so mad at me. He was like, I feel like you're choosing this concert over me and all this stuff. Valid, but controlled in a way. And I was just like, Dad, you don't get it. You don't get it. And at that time we were just so upset, with each other at that moment. But I was just like, don't make me resent you for this. And now all these months later, when I recently talked to him about it, I was like, I went to the concert and I wanted to say, like, thank you for not staying mad at me because you are where I feel at home, but music is where I feel at home in myself. And I have so much love and respect for people who play music and admiration for what they do for the world. Because even though people may sit still and they may not dance or wiggle or bob their head, they're being changed from the inside. And with this realization, again, it's early. There's my pot pie. With this self-acceptance of it, it actually gave me the motivation to get my LLC back up and running and reinstated. Because if I can get things set up to a point where I can take my artistry and my musicianry and my intuitive knowledge and my digital art, if I can get all of that in a place where it is safe and it is protected, that is enough for me. I don't know if I'm gonna make it to the Grammys. I don't know if I'm gonna make it to the everythings. I don't know if I'm gonna be on a world tour. I don't know. I don't know. That's not the fucking point. The point is that I can take a bath in the truth of knowing that I am a musician. I've always been a musician. And now I get to start to learn more about what that looks like for me. I'm coming. So I'm gonna go get this pot pie that I've been looking forward to all day. As that was like my reinstatement reward. I was like, all right, if I get this first section done, I'm getting reinstated. I'm so excited to come home and eat this pie. So I'm gonna go eat this pie. But thank you for watching, for listening, and learning my journey. And for future Joe, I'm so proud of you. I am so proud of you. I know it feels like you just unlocked the most ravenous beast. But let me just tell you, it was only going to get bigger in the cage, baby. It was only going to get bigger in the cage. So, thank you for opening the door. And now that thing that felt so impossible of being a musician is actually a little bit closer. And that's exciting. That is worth it. That is worth all this time and effort and internal digging. And your inner children are so happy right now. So keep going. Bye for now.